as we were creating this, we were just doing this as our own dance with love, as our own dance with source. We've basically created something. We've created a vehicle. This is Tosha's work. This is her intellectual property, as they say. And this is the book that you get. But what we've done is we've created an 8 weeks designed for sustainment. In other words, having this carry beyond what is actually going to be your experience within the 8 weeks. We're going to give you tools that actually have legs that you can keep using. We're going to set you up for success. We're going to create a vehicle that gives you such incredible engagement that energetically you're going to invite transformation. This is our vision. This is our own kind of dance. And Jacqui, I think we can kind of talk.
And actually, to speak on just that process of getting to this point, it just made me aware how the joy is in the journey and not the destination, and how every step of the way of organizing this to get to where we are today is just been, that has been the manifestation. Each way I've been seeing, oh, this is a manifestation, this is a manifestation, and it's moving forward. So it's really nice to also have the manifestation of the launch party, of your guys' time and space, and just gathering in this energy and sharing with you guys. It's really a blessing.
And again, there's going to be so many interactive activities, which you can participate in or not. And it's going to be a community. That's what happened last time with our group. We had an amazing community. We gave out prizes. We had little fun dances. We got up and we moved. We got the energy circulating. Is everybody tired of these Zoom webinars?
Yes.
You don't have to just sit and look at the screen all day. You've got your whole environment. And we've really created this with an idea towards nurturing yourself. I've had conversations with people who are interested in this workshop. And it's like, I can't do anymore. It's just, there's too much. And I get it. I have to, saying no is such a powerful opportunity for me. So I kind of ask myself, with my yeses, are they yeses that's going to bring me something that is worthy of my journey on earth? Is this worthy of this co-creation of this divine container? Well, Jacqui, let's talk a little bit more about this.
Sounds good to me. So this is kind of going to be the format of our weekly meetings. It's structured like an educational model. Next slide. We're going to have the live weekly Zoom meetings. Also, we're going to kind of be like tour guides. So like a good tour guide, they point you in the direction of what you should see, hear, or things that you might otherwise miss in the book, because anybody can buy the book and read the book. I've read the book, but what we really did was create a signpost along the way. So we're not only tour guides, we're tourists. We're learning from you, and hopefully you could learn from us when we share with you how to take this information deeper, how to spot. If you didn't have a chance to read it, which happened to me quite a bit in the last book club, like I would miss certain chapters, basically, just because life happens. So if that happens, you don't have to worry, because when you get together with us and we share this space, we're going to lay out all the main points, and then we'll give you very clear guidance as to the steps that Tosha's outlined in the process to take us through. And it goes from week 1 to week 8, and each step builds upon itself.
Yes, and the also the opportunity for audits. If you've done this, if you did the last workshop, you'll also be able to kind of come in and meeting yourself where you are from the last process. We can talk a little more about that as well. Go ahead and email me if you have any questions about auditing, because we can do it in a very different way for you that can give you participation at the level that you're called to.
Yeah, that's good. We've also created tools really to help with that accountability piece. I'm really excited to share with you guys those tools, and we're going to cover those in the next slides. But there are tools to support us as a complement to the processes that are already like magically, divinely created with Tosha's book. One of the tools, or one of the things that we're called to do, are the 5 divine steps. And so we'll see on the next slide how we're going to use those divine steps and these tools to really integrate in a way that this material becomes experiential and it's not just intellectual. It really sinks in to make shifts available for you in your life, present day.
That's one of the most exciting things I'm looking forward to, is what Jacqui has created for us to support us with this. We're going to be having interactive and co-creative features. It's going to be designed to be very fun, very engaging, and of course, connect us to each other. This is indeed a shared journey, a sacred journey. You've seen an example of some of these, but that's the tip of the iceberg. There's going to be all sorts of surprises and clever things happening that's going to keep you on your toes, and also keep the energy and the joy and the aliveness going. Of course, we're going to have our breakout room processes. We gave you a taste of that. These are going to be a wonderful way to actually kind of explore your process. It's amazing. Sometimes the answers and sometimes the insights and the downloads, they come when you connect with other people. They can be really kind of a mirror. They can be your partner in this journey of discovery. When we have processes, and we really kind of got this trio thing from the University of Santa Monica's spiritual psychology course that we have master's degrees in this work. And these groups of 3, they gather together, they have a focus space, they discuss their observations, their findings, their moments, and because we have this training, we can create really extraordinary opportunities and processes that we really expect will actually create an entire experience that is going to be quite glorious.
Yeah, I love the trios. Do you want to jump to the next slide? Okay, we're going to cover some of the resources, just the practical stuff that we kind of previewed in the previous slide. And these are just to support you through your 8-week process. Next slide, please. We created a webinar reading schedule that clearly tells you what pages we're going to be covering before each meeting. Also suggested assignments, like what are the steps that Tosha has outlined. In every week, you can just follow along with that. And then
and I'm posting these links also, Jacqui. You don't need to post them. I'll post them for
you. Oh, okay.
You can kind of look at these. If you click on these links, you'll get a peek at these. And we're just kind of offering these.
Yeah,
Jacqui created these. And
yeah, you can use this. If you don't sign up for the webinar, it doesn't matter. You can use these as you see fit. The next thing that we created is this virtual journal. I'm really excited about the virtual journal. If you click on that link, Google's going to force you to make a copy. You become the owner of that virtual journal. This journal is designed specifically to support your success. The first page has 5 questions corresponding to the 5 divine steps. They're actually not questions. Let me rephrase that. They're statements. They're I statements. They're affirmative statements. I said the daily abundance prayer today. And you click yes or no. And then the prayer is there because if you didn't say it and you're already journaling and logging, you can choose to say it right then. So it's really something that was created to support accountability and just to have like a structure, like an educational structure to the steps to really take it deeper. And then as you move through this journal entry, there's 7 different pages. Each page following the first page takes it a step deeper. It's kind of like an inventory of where were you when you were completing this process? Were you feeling very intentional or were you not feeling so intentional? And all of these answers get recorded in your own journal. Nobody has access to that journal, but over the course of the 8 weeks, you'll be able to reflect back on your responses and see all of the shifts and all of the changes as you've evolved. The last page asks about your intentions, what your intention for today is, what your intention for the rest of the 8 weeks are. And I can tell you from experience in doing this course that my intentions changed from day 1 to the last day of this program, completely changed. But at that time, I didn't have like a way to document or really organize those shifts. And I just think it's so precious that we have an opportunity to really anchor in the awareness that we are shifting, because so many times I notice for myself, I'm shifting, not giving myself credit for those shifts, not giving myself credit for what I have already accomplished. So everything here is designed to live into this new version of yourself. One of the 5 steps is to stop complaining about money. Okay, well, why get together and talk about all
Never,
the money problems?
never. I refuse.
Yeah, that's not going to help people. Like, we've been doing that. That story is rinsed and repeat and not working. So this is really designed to help you think about, what are my new stories about money? Everything is geared towards casting you into this new space, into this new way of being. And that's just one of the tools that we've come up with to support us as we go through this process. But really, one of the biggest supports is also this container, this space where we can practice these new ways of being together. We're not being judged, we're being held, we're being in this loving energy where spirit can infuse its energy into us and help us make these heartfelt shifts. It's really a dynamic tool. I think Shannon dropped the link in there. Feel free to use it.
Yes.
You don't have to be part of the webinar to use it. Just use it, and you can adjust it to your own needs, because you're the editor now of that document. So if you want to question that resonates for you, depending on whatever step or wherever you are in your life or whatever's personal to you, you can just go ahead and click add, and you add that question. And now that becomes a part of your log through this 8-week process. And it's intimate to you. It's designed for you, by you.
And folks, this is what we didn't have in the last offering. The fact that Jacqui created this is extraordinary, because I know, I mean, I was just mentioning again in my last conversation, I kind of go in and out of it. I'll just, even the kind of inner child, you'll be doing some wonderful forgotten inner kid work, as Tosha says, about that little guy that wants to take the reins and like, oh no, we're not going to do all this. We're gonna stay up all night and eat ice cream. Oh yes, and
or go on a shopping spree.
Yeah, exactly. And this
is the joke.
Well, yeah, add your inner kid tantrum, delight, fun, destructive, hybrid activity here. But Jacqueline has created what can really be a daily tool of exponential growth, because it's really the tools. This is really a hands-on program. And you kind of meet, Tosha talks about this. She says, some people, they just kind of stand by the side, and some people just dive in. They dive into this river. And the people who dive in, they get the most out of it. And Jacqui, this tool is really going to help people do that.
Thank you. And I will say, part of that is radical acceptance. If you're not ready to dive in, you don't have to judge yourself about that. I wasn't ready to dive in when I did it. But you do get the benefit of riding the vibrational waves of those of us who are diving in, those of us who are wanting to take it deeper. And that's what the benefit, one of the many benefits of doing this in a co-creative space, is that you're going to glean from everybody else's growth. It's like they say, when the tide rises, all the boats lift. So here we are, our intention is to rise, our intention is to lift, and we would love for you to be a part of that so that you can lift with us. And everybody's bringing just this beautiful piece that interlocks and makes things make sense. It's intricately woven, and I can't really explain it because I'm not divine source, but it is magic. And you'll see that if you participate, you'll get to experience that for yourself. Shannon, do we want to go to the next slide?
Great. Yeah, let's talk about our Facebook group. Yeah, Facebook, right. Didn't it just crash yesterday? Well, let's talk about Facebook, or let's not talk about Facebook. So I'll just say I'm not a big Facebook user. I dip into it because I like to see what people are doing and have to kind of use it for my business. But what's really great about this is our Facebook group. It's already alive with energy. We decided that we're going to keep the Facebook group from the last workshop going. There's so many posts. There's like 100 posts in there because this is just a way of kind of connecting with your community. I mean, we're still in a little bit of isolation, in our physical spaces, but really there is no isolation in spirit. God can use anything as a container. So even if you're not a social media person, just jumping on, like, how's everybody doing? Maybe I can, just give it, even if it's just a like button, maybe I can get somebody a little approval. We had some very intimate sharings in the Facebook group. We had some people really, really sharing from the heart, and we had people come in and just bring their love, bring their energy, bring a sense of that they're being seen into this.
And it really is kind of like a support group. It's a community. I can't say enough for the value of community, especially as we're transcending beyond these everyday beliefs that get passed down to us. You're really shifting into this new world. We're like Ariel brushing our hair with forks, and that's okay because we're trying out these new tools. We're figuring out this whole new world, and we can do that together. And it's a nice space. I mean, I don't have anything bad to say about Facebook because I'm just going to try not to say anything bad about anything. But I can say that it is powerful to have that. And it could go beyond the hour and a half, especially if you're not able to make a meeting or you just want to be connected with the group. I invite you to join, whether you do the webinar or not. If you've read the material, you're interested in it in any way, I think it could be of use for you as well.
And if you can't make every meeting, we have recordings of the live event. Who are those people in that screenshot?
I don't know, but she's pretty hot.
Oh, I'd say.
I have to say it for myself.
So yeah, we'll post these recordings of the live event because of course life happens, you can't make it. But this work happens multidimensionally. You have a beautiful read one evening. You click on, you listen to the live events, you fast forward it, you get to the teaching parts, this is your resource as well.
Yeah, it is. And it's a nice resource to go back to, especially if you maybe attended and you're distracted or you couldn't attend, which happened to me quite a bit because I had my son around. And so I really use those live recordings as a resource to support me in going back into the material and getting more from it. So you can take it as deep or not as you want. It's up to you. So lastly, we want to talk about next steps. Do you want to go into the next slide, Shannon?
Sure. So we are very happy to have created this vehicle, and we wanted to really create an access point for everybody to join this. And because this really had so much engagement with our last workshop, we wanted also to do a lot extra to just energetically. We know that whatever we bring forward is going to really support you. However, you're going to really have a beautiful opportunity to join we're cutting prices. Everything must go. The shelves must be empty. It's an 8-week workshop. We're doing it for $80, $79.95. Is that $80? No, it's 5 cents less than $80. It's a super sale. Oh, I love that, Jacqui.
And we're going out of business, folks. We're going out of the business of controlling our life from the ego self. We're going into the business of offering. We're going into the business of receiving. If you're called, if this resonates, we'd love to have you there. If not, I just want to share our gratitude for just this shared space and the growth and the expansion that's taken place just by you guys being here present today. It's really like less than a Starbucks run for one session to really get juiced up with this energy. I believe in the value for sure. So I don't have to sell myself on that. But if you're called, we'd love to have you there. We're meeting Tuesdays, same time, 11. It's going to be an 8-week journey. You have the resources. You can use those resources independently. Join us on this journey, and we can do it co-creatively, and let us benefit from your guys' growth, from your experience, because that really is what lights me up, to see how other people are shifting. Honestly, like, that's the juice that I bring to this energy here, is like, how are you shifting? How are your patterns changing? How are your thoughts changing? What are the new stories about money? This is where I want to live into our energy. And this is a space we're creating so that we can do that collectively.
Yes. And we just put the link in the chat. So you just click on that puppy. And just, yeah, we have a whole web page for you to look at. There's more details. We just poured out the avalanche for folks for you. But this workshop is also going to be, we're not trying to get a lot of tech people. Maybe we'll offer you to click on a link or something. And the most tech thing you'll ever have to do is beautiful little journal. And you can do this in a paper journal. You can buy this beautiful, book and just write down Jacqui's amazingly considered questions on a day, on like a daily journal next to a candle. This is your process. This is your journey.